Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, this time featuring an updated Taii Wakeen Perfect Shot deck. Now a lot of you probably don't know who Taii Wakeen is, although long time watchers of the channel may have an idea. She is a legend from the previous set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, but one that's barely seen any play. I think I've only literally played against a deck with her in it once, or at least I've seen. But she's quite a cool card. I played a Brawl deck with her, and then I played a deck entitled Wakeen Phoenix, using her and the Phoenix that was in Standard as a bit of a jokey deck. So what Taii Wakeen does is she's a 2 mana for red and white, 2/3. Says when a source you control deals non-combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, you draw a card, which is pretty cool. To get some card draw from removal spells, and then you can pay X and tap her. It says if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a opponent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus X instead. So if you pay 2 and then tap her, everything you deal, all non-combat damage you deal increases by 2, and that's really where the power is. So the upgrades that this deck got from Bloomburrow were Coruscation Mage and Kindlespark Duo. Coruscation Mage is a 2 mana 2/2, has Offspring for 2. Offspring is a new mechanic that says you can pay that Offspring cost. If you do, when this creature enters, you create a 1/1 copy of it, so you get a 1/1 exact copy. And it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then Kindlespark Duo is a 3 mana 1/3 and has tap. Kindlespark Duo deals 1 damage to target opponent. Then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap Kindlespark Duo. We see these kind of cards all the time. The one in the previous standard I think was called Thermal Alchemist, which was pretty popular in certain kinds of deck. So the idea is we get Taii Wakeen down, we get these down, and every time, if we put say 2 into Taii Wakeen and then we cast a shock, shock will do 4 damage because it's 2 plus 2. Coruscation Mage will do 3 damage because it's 1 plus 2. Kindlespark Duo will do 3 damage. You can tap it when you cast shock, it will untap it, and it can be incredibly powerful. In one of the games you will see I literally got an opponent from 13 down to dead with 3 lands and 1 spell, put 2 into Taii Wakeen, cast a shock. I had 2 Kindlespark Duos out. The shock did 3, each Kindlespark Duo did 3. Then I tapped them both and did another 6, basically. So rounding out the deck, we have a lot of target removal, as you can imagine. We have Tectonic Hazard. This is really, really good in Taii Wakeen. It does 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. If we've got Taii Wakeen out and we put some mana into her, this can be deal 3 damage to opponent's entire board, which is a board wipe. And you can play with that X spell to get the best value to draw cards as well. If they have a lot of 2/2s and maybe a 3/3, maybe only put 1 into her, deal 2 to everything, draw a load of cards and finish everything off with a shock or something else. It does really open up doors. As I mentioned earlier, we've got 4 copies of shock, 3 Heartflame Duelist, which has Heartflame Slash as an instant adventure, deals 3 to any target, but then the creature side gives all instant and sorcery spells lifelink, which, seeing as a lot of our deck is instant and sorcery spells which deal damage, this is a great way just to stabilise the game. 4 copies of Lightning Strike, 3 copies of Ren's Resolve. Doesn't do damage, but it is a non-creature spell, so it triggers a Coruscation Mage and a Kindlespark Duo, but it also lets us get through our deck. Then 4 copies of Lightning Helix. A really fun, not interaction, just how Lightning Helix works with Heartflame Duelist is Lightning Helix doesn't have lifelink, it just deals 3 damage and you gain 3 life. So if we put mana into Taii Wakeen, it increases the damage but doesn't increase the life. This Heartflame Duelist gives the Lightning Helix lifelink, so just by default we're now gaining 6 and dealing 3, which is a huge life swing. And then finally we have Mechanized Warfare, which says if a red or artifact source you control will deal damage to an opponent or opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. So it increases all our burn spells, increases the damage of our 2 creatures, and it's a 3/1 as well, so it can get in for damage. And what's really good is you play Heartflame Duelist, next turn you play some removal spells, clear board, gain some life, smack in for 3 or maybe 5 if you've already got a Taii Wakeen down. So that's where the damage is. Mana base, as you can imagine, pretty standard. Some Plains Mountains, Battlefield Forges. The damage isn't really relevant to us because of Heartflame Duelist. We often end up around 30 life. Inspiring Vantage for some fast mana, and we do have one Restless Bivouac. We don't really want tap lands because our curve's very low. But you could put another one in here just as an alternative win condition. You know, Heartflame Duelist is a great place to put those counters, or Taii Wakeen. One of the weaknesses of Taii Wakeen is she's acceptable to cut down. Same with Heartflame Duelist. In fact, same with all our creatures. It is a big issue. Just if you play against a black deck, chances are your Taii Wakeen's going to be removed. So that's a deck. I said you don't see Taii Wakeen often. I think I've only ever played against her once, or at least that I know about. But it is a very powerful card when it gets going. It's a really powerful Brawl card as well. So if you ever want to play a powerful Boros commander, definitely give her a look. And I will link to my video down below. And I might have a look at the her Brawl deck again, since we do have some more creatures to play with. So that's the deck. I hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, we're on the draw with, well, a hand with no non-creature spells apart from the Heartflame Slash. I should have played out the Bivouac there. We're up against life gain. Which is not the best deck for us. But we can take out their Zoraline, draw a card, swing in for 2. I would really like a Tectonic Hazard. Said we hit some land. A lack of actual damaging spells is a massive issue. And one I imagine is going to punish us. If we hit a Lightning Helix or Lightning Strike, well, this can do it actually. We'll put 3 in. We kill their entire board. We do draw. We can play the Battlefield Forge out and swing in for 2. We would like to have got the Duelist down first, but we were 1 mana shy. Duress in a life gain deck. Well, we'll play out the Duelist. But yeah, wiping their board did it in for them. That was a very lucky draw of Tectonic Hazard for us. But yeah, we play the Duelist. Probably could have Offspringed a Coruscation Mage. Swung out for only 4, but it put them down to 5. And then yeah, any of our damaging spells we drew would have had lifelink. You know, putting the game even more beyond them. On the draw, with an alright hand, Taii Wakeen generally mean it's a keep. Obviously, Mechanised Warfare can bump up the damage as well. Half-Aim Duelist gives us some damaging spells. But are we just up against Control again? Are we up against exactly the same deck? I'm going to play out the duo. I expect they've got removal. Yep. Well, next turn we can offspring a Coruscation Mage. And then turn after that, get down Mechanised Warfare and hopefully start going off. That's if Coruscation Mage doesn't get cancelled, obviously. Which I think it might. Spellgire, I'm going to just deduce. Do this now. Ping them for 1. Well, I'm going to Ren's Resolve, which will trigger all our creatures. I'd like to hit a land. Alright, well, we can just get down the Duelist. Should have attacked with the Coruscation Mages. I'll lose 4. We've got to hope we draw a... Oh, it's got haste. We've got to hope we draw a land, basically. Oh, I'm going to get rid of you. And then I'm just going to go face. We're back up to 13. And they are dead. We're on the draw with an okay hand. Well, they've mulliganed. Well, we've got all the tectonic hazards. This is a Row deck, I'm guessing. No turn 2 play though. They just convoke, which is fine. I'll swing in with the duelist and take out their 1-1. We can take it out with Lightning Helix. And then swing in for 5. And hold up Shock. So we do have lethal on board. This puts them down to 6. This puts them down to 4. And this puts them down to 0. On the play, we have Taii Wakeen. This is a first for us. Do need another red source for mechanised warfare. Let's hope she survives. We also need more non-creature cards. And let's see what we're up against. Life gain maybe. Tectonic hazards. Very good for Taii Wakeen. So I'm just going to fire it off, which will cause a draw card. And I will play out the duelist. Next turn we can Kindlespark Duo. Hit him for 5. Another Tectonic Hazard would be really, really good. Only 1 red mana is a massive, massive issue. What I can do next turn is pump 2 mana into Taii Wakeen, fire off a shock, which will do 4. Kindlespark Duo will do 3 each. That's 10, and then we'll just untap them. So yes, we might have lethal here. Yeah. That is the power of Taii Wakeen. You just need to draw her. And obviously we drew a second one there. But 13 down to 0 with 1 spell and 2 creatures is what she can do when she gets going. We're on the play with an okay hand. Ren's Resolve can hopefully draw us into some more action. Play out Ren's Resolve now. And next turn we can play the Forge and the Duo from exile. The Duo's an okay blocker for the Duelist unless they pump it. Next turn we can Coruscation Mage with Offspring. $22 lands and we draw all of them. Well, next time we can mechanise warfare, then shock to do a decent amount of damage. 7, I think. Wouldn't mind a lightning strike to take out the sentry, or a lightning helix. We're up to 5 poison, which is a bit of an issue. Well, there's another shock. So we can take out the Annex entry. Well, that's very annoying. I'm going to take it out now then. The Kindlespark Duo can block the Duelist, and we do have another one. Well, that's putting us up to 9. we're on the play. We're a really good hand, but we only have one land. This is still pretty good. I'm going to put away a land because we do have Ren's Resolve. Well, Taii Wakeen ain't surviving. Oh, lizards. Let's see if Taii Wakeen does survive. Nope. It's a problem with a 2/3 powered 2/3 creature. I think sometimes life wants you to play Magic. This will cause us to draw as well. Ren's Resolve was a good draw. Oh, probably shouldn't have played a land. But we'll play out the duo. And at least next turn we can get in for some damage. Assuming the duo survives. Well, let's tap you. This is a really odd deck they're playing. Take out their little one. Take out their big one. And we'll just hold up for now. That did take up a lot of our hand though. And well, a Tectonic Hazard can't deal with either of those. And that can deal with one of them. Problem is, this is where we need damage amplifiers. Taii Wakeen, Mechanized Warfare. I'm hoping they block. We are at 30 to 13. This is not the fastest game in the world. That's really good for us. Means we can hit him down to, well, it takes him down to 6. And then we can put him down to 3 with a lightning strike. But I think they obviously drew another land. So yeah, a bit grindy. I don't know what they were doing in the deck. They had a couple of lizards and the Darkstar Augur, which I did think maybe we let live, because while it draws them cards, it does damage them as well, and it can damage them quite a lot depending on their curve. but them taking out 2 of our Taii Wakeens was a bit annoying, because pinging an opponent for 1 each turn isn't that exciting and or that quick, but we did get there in the end. Our opponent goes first, but Taii Wakeen and Tectonic Hazard is pretty good. And we've got some Heartflame Duelists. Even though we might be up against Control, which is less good. Okay, no counterspell there. Well, this is a bit of a waste, but Urza is quite useful. We're up to 25, they're down at 15. We've got another Urza. Well, let's pay out Taii Wakeen and swing in with our Duelist, because I imagine they won't block, but if they do, we can shock. And next turn, we can pump up Taii Wakeen. To deal with their Urza. Well, let's Ren's we've got to rely on hitting a land for that, which I'm not keen on. Well, let's attack. See, we do lose our Duelist, but we do have another one, and I will Ren's Resolve now. Well, there's the lands. Luckily we're at 27, and assuming we get another turn, let's tap that. Let's tap Taii Wakeen for 1. Down to 1, we're at 30. And we can just Heartflame Duelist. They do have some chunky boys. But yeah, we are at 30, so we are not blocking. And then we just shock their face. Heartflame slash their face. Hit them for, you know, but even without pumping with Taii Wakeen, hit him for quite a bit. Hello Magic fans, and welcome back to the wrap up. So we played 16 games with a 50% win rate, so right down the middle. We did actually have a better win rate on the draw, which is unusual, but sometimes these things happen. But you know, with a small data set, you're going to see things like that. Problem with this deck is, I think, with a lot of well, one, with a lot of creature-based decks which aren't aggro, is that they're susceptible to removal. There were games where, you know, we play out a creature, play out Taii Wakeen, and they just kill it, and we don't draw any other creatures. Because the deck is reliant on 2 types of things, creatures and non-creature spells, in kind of equal measure, it's a bit harder to build. You know, standard mono-red aggro, you know, you can have a few less creatures. All you really want is Monstrous Swift Spear and Swift Shot Show Off. Whereas in this, Taii Wakeen just makes everything massively better. We also need Coruscation Mage and the duo. And then Heartflame Duelist just ties it all together. So a tough one to build, and that's why I think the win rate is not as fantastic, but 50% still pretty good. And when it goes off, as you'd have seen some of the gameplays, it's really, really good. Said, in one game we took our opponent from 13 down to 0 with 3 lands, 1 spell, and even that we could have done 3 more damage by tapping our second Kindlespark duo. So it is that powerful. Played it months ago as a commander, really liked it then. Might have another look at it, adding these cards as well, because it does really make it a really powerful deck. So I had a great time playing it, and one of the first times I've gone back to a previous build, as it were. So I hope you all enjoy it. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video.